She's been dubbed Acoustic Guitarist of the Year. Singer-songwriter Christie Lenée is returning to her hometown for a one-night benefit performance at the Catherine A Hickman Theater in Gulfport. And we got to grab her first for a chat and, of course, a preview of the upcoming performance. What's going on, Christie? How are you?
Wonderful. How are you doing?
I am well. Let's talk about coming back home. Before we do that, though, introduce yourself to our audience a little bit, because, again, you've got quite the accolades. Live in Nashville, right?
Currently in Asheville, North Carolina, actually.
Okay.
But I used to live in Nashville. I've traveled a lot, and but I'm from here in Tampa, Florida. So it's always a joy for me to come home and be in my community. I get to be around family and friends and people that I grew up with. So this is one of my favorite cities to play in the entire world because of that. You know, you can't really beat that. So.
And giving back too. I'm assuming that that's one of the things that it's got to be one of those moments where you're using your craft, your artistry, the gift you've been given to be able to give back. And I'm assuming that's got to be something that's humbling yet exciting on the same time.
Yes, absolutely. And giving back to the wise people who have inspired me, giving back to the elders is part of why I want to, support the Gulfport Senior Center Foundation, because I want to give back to the community and all the people who supported me coming up, and just do everything I can to help. So
this is a pretty cool line, and I feel like I've got to read it here in describing you. More than a musician, you're an experience. And of course, and it goes on to talk about your sublime songwriting, spiritual, inspirational lyrics. You get that vibe from just being around you. When you hear words like that, when you talk about it, it's an experience. I mean, is that one of those things that musicians strive for, and you're at the point in your career where you're like, yes, that's how I want to be viewed as?
I don't know if it's me wanting to be viewed as anything. It's just that music has been really healing for me in my life. It's helped me get through a lot of really hard times. And so a lot of the songs I've written are about resilience and, overcoming things and challenges. And my new album, Coming Alive, is actually about getting back out into the world again after the pandemic. So everything shut down, and the album is about being back with people again and what that'll be like. And it kind of processes some of the emotional experience of quarantine. And so I don't know if I was trying to be any certain way. It was just my emotional experience. And sometimes there's words and sometimes there's not. So in the song I'll play today, it's instrumental, and sometimes that speaks enough. And, sometimes there's words for it.
Well, and that's what I think is really cool about you and getting to know you. You're known, for your acoustic guitar, for instance, and that's what we're going to get, a performance of here in a moment, like you just alluded to. Yeah. But also then being able to be a singer-songwriter. Do you have one you prefer, or is it just literally the feelings that you're going through? It just kind of happens that way.
Some songs are just driven to lead themselves into being an instrumental piece. And a lot of my career, I have done a lot of instrumental music, but I really love to sing and, to bring across a message that is something that can be of value for people and for me to sing, and to remember the joys of life and, just being alive, how good it feels to be alive. And sometimes we can forget that and all the stresses of the world.
Right. Well, you've already kind of teased your performance coming up here on the show. Do me a favor, though, and tease the performance happening tonight.
Oh, yes. Okay, so to tell you a little bit about what I'll do, so it'll be a mix of instrumental and vocal music. I'll be using a foot stomp, a foot tambourine, some loops, a vocal harmonizer. I'll be playing a lot of songs from my new album and a bunch of instrumentals, kind of a mix of things. From time to time, I'll throw in my own spin of a Joni Mitchell song or something like that, to honor some of my favorite artists. But for the most part, it's always, 95% original songs.
Good stuff. Well, we're sharing the information right now. And of course, you can get tickets at Eventbrite. Can you get tickets at the door?
Yes.
Wonderful.
I would recommend getting them ahead of time.
Oh, good idea.
I know the VIP tickets are sold out, and premium seating was minimal last time I checked, so get your tickets as soon as you can.
There you go.
Yeah.
And Christie, in the meantime, though, take it away.